You said you could use any of those cues that I sent you earlier today. Like if I signal for them. I can't. Okay. Is there any way for you to put Cam in my headset? I think I answered the question in my head. Fine, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I can't hear, I say. No. You could hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
I can't hear him. Talk, I say.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 3 4.
Nothing. I also can't hear myself if that matters. All right, we'll limp through to the break with it.
I can't hear myself either. I can't hear anything. Nothing. All right, now.
That's perfect. See, this is why we pay you the big bucks.
Yeah.
Where I put down towel, I eat today. It have to be somewhere. I know you give me a whole roll. The jingle should be playing, eh?
See radio. I don't want to touch it. See there.
Thank you.
Oh.
Hello and welcome to Freedom March. I'm Levan Miller. Thank you so much for joining me. You're listening to us on 103.5 The Beat FM, on channel 224, on channel 112, that's on cable and on Flow, or maybe over on ILTV Studios right there on Facebook. But wherever you're choosing to listen to the show or watch us today, thank you so much. I wish all of you could watch us the day of building a country island by island, and unless somebody comes to check on it. And so we've started the voyage here. We're in New Bight Island. We've taken a look around. I've brought the spiritual advisor with me. We are going to make sure that we test every single thing that they told us was true. What I will say though is that the beach here is wonderful. It is a delightful beach. I think it is the best beach I've ever seen thus far. Whoever put this beach here deserves a national award. That is what I want to say about the beach here in Kid Island. And we are at the Fountain Bay, right here in New Bight Kid Island. And so join us this entire week. Domestic tourist program, and the goal is to try and see if we can get Bahamians wanting to see what is happening island by island. I think it's phenomenal. You know how I feel about I, Chester Cooper. Listen to me, I want to say this. If I, Chester Cooper, killed 6 children in the road, I want to blame it on the children. Because there's absolutely no way I, Chester Cooper, could be wrong, and something was going on strange with these children, and I'm so happy that I, Chester Cooper, found them, because who knows, they may have been a threat to national security. And so, the Ministry of Tourism has decided that they wanted to send us to Kid Island this weekend. Of course, you know Kid Island is going to have the Kid Island Regatta this weekend. That's going to happen Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can get on the excursion boat on Thursday, though, and be here in time for the regatta on Friday. And then you can kind of, after you recuperate from that boat ride, it's a young man's sport, you get to kind of come on one of these wonderful, picturesque resorts they got here in Kid Island and see what the sun, sand, and sea looks like when you're actually a tourist. And you can lay low. Well, this ain't Bimini, but you could lay low in Kid Island because, I mean, the resort here is pretty lay lowy, and I like it, right? I think it's wonderful. I mean, this beach is phenomenal. Okay. I can't hear. I mean, I can't see. I thought that was a bit long, though.
Yeah.
Y'all got to count me out because I can't hear no jingle.
And this young man is long-winded.
Well, I got to talk us through the break.
You have a Starlink connection? Okay. How are you, sir?
Hey, Chief. All is well? But they got me in Kid Island, they tell me. well, you know, I try and hard. Well, I told them I wanted to wait this way. But I don't know. You know, but I've been trying to come here from Sunday.
So why you ain't call me? You know me up, Charles.
I messaged you and asked you if your flight's going in on Monday. That was me.
Okay, one, I told you we only do
Doing the charters, right.
Okay, so you're still at the charter. So why didn't you give me the charter?
I see you now. You're talking about back office. All that ain't me. Believe it or not, up to this point, I ain't really sure what all back office doing because they keep telling me we got it covered, we got it covered, we got it covered, and then when you ask them, no one can tell you nothing. He can tell you up until yesterday must be 6:30. We even didn't know what time the plane was leaving.
Because yours was here from yesterday.
But I asked them, right? I asked them if we stay in by Fountain Bay, then why didn't they just let Ezra bring us on the plane? I asked them that.
She called me this morning and telling me, well, we chartered the plane to bring them. I said, really? Well, really?
Let me tell you something, Ezra. They like to do this. And they like to do this.
We had two planes.
Ezra, I know you got a plane. I know you got more than one plane, but I'm saying to you, somehow, the way we do business around here in this country is weird to me. This whole, if the government's spending money, you got to spread the money out, is foolishness to me. If one fella could do the job, let's just get the one fella to do the job.
See this whole place here? Why you guys meet them up?
Yeah. They be doing weird things to me.
Spiritual advisor.
Be my brother.
What's up, man?
Because to be quite honest, we could have get
Yes, sir. All is well.
Car, airplane, hotel. We didn't need to go anywhere except for that, but again, I only talent.
And she only end up here because everybody turned them down. All of them. Yeah, so nobody won't book nobody before Friday. So they turned them down. So after she called me, she didn't call my girls because she knew they was going to tell her no.
Yeah.
So she picked up the phone and called me.
Yeah.
And but I said, Bernadette, you know that's every time. I said, but I'll take you people, but they have to check on Friday.
Yeah, they tell us that.
So I said, but I told her, I said, my friend got things in the bluff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we do. But like I said,
But you, if you know you was coming here to do the show, why you didn't hook up? You should have personally hooked up.
that's a good question, and I should have done that.
If you coming here to do this, you should have personally hooked up.
I should have done that.
We could have done this where we could do a whole good thing. We could do boat day. You understand what I'm saying? We could do the ATVs and the scooters. Show every day.
Wow. Levan. You're playing Levan.
And everybody busy. Because you know this island, everybody trying to make one too.
Yeah.
How we looking on the count?
30 seconds.
Okay. They say, tell them please make sure these mics don't bleed. Hello, welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you so much for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. You're listening to us on 103.5 The Beat FM, channel 224, channel 112, and of course on ILTV Studios. Believe it or not, I got to drop him after this. I've brought the spiritual advisor with me to Cat Island. Spiritual advisor, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you so much, Levi. Good to be here.
How does it feel? How does it
Oh,
feel?
man, this is a beautiful place, man.
So I have to tell you all this, right?
There is a God somewhere.
When we sat in the airport, spiritual
I must
advisor
say.
tell me he need to bring mosquito bomb. They tell him the
Yeah.
mosquitoes, them so big you could pick you up and fly you away.
Yeah, on the
I
side
said,
fly.
spiritual advisor, don't listen to these people. Any mosquito bite you from me, Bill?
Not yet.
Okay. I
Not
told
yet.
you, the mosquitoes in Cat Island will not bite you because you are with me, and out of respect, the mosquitoes will give you a break.
Well, I have on some Muslim oil, so that may be.
So we're down here in
One
Cat
of the
Island.
reasons.
We're down here in Cat Island, spiritual advisor. And like I said, the plan is if the government says they're doing things island by island, if they says that they're developing a more stronger economy island by island, if the government says that, you know, the plan in the budget is to increase movement, increase economy, increase activity, island by island, then as the Freedom Marches, we have to come and we have to come see it, right? So
Absolutely.
on the way in here, what did we see? We flew past the airport. That is out of the ground. That's a real thing, right?
Well, I see the building, yeah.
Well, there are actually two buildings, right?
Okay.
There are actually two buildings. On our way in here, we flew past that. And then, of course, when we left the airport, we turned immediately into some road development work.
I see some guys working.
Yeah, and so we haven't had an opportunity to test the whole ground yet. But we're going to go north at some point, and then we'll go, no, north is this way. We'll go north at some point, and then we'll go south at some point. And we'll see. We'll see whether or not what it is they're claiming, whether the infrastructural upgrades with regards to the water, whether the infrastructural upgrades with regard to the road work is in fact happening the way that they say. And what do we have to hide, right? We just want to make sure that, because it is difficult for people, spiritual advisor, to make an assessment sitting from their front room in Nassau, and since largely that is where the demographics of the Bahamian population resides.
Yeah, reside.
You know, a lot of times governments are judged either fairly to the negative or unfairly, or fairly to the positive or unfairly to the negative, because they read it in the newspaper, they hear about it on the radio, they hear about it on the TV, but no one ever really gives them a bird's eye view of what in fact they see on the ground. You know, I told you I was in Eleuthera a couple of weeks ago. If you go on the ground in Wims's Bight, you will find that there's almost 30 miles of paved road that's been done. The BA, what is the name of the people? The agriculture people. They have, the building is coming out of the, and so there is things happening on the ground. So when people say that the economy isn't moving as fastly as they think it should be, or they're not sure if the development is happening as quickly as it should, or all these things have to be levied against the backdrop of people simply do not know. And how will they know? What does the Bible say? How will they hear except the preacher preach, right?
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
you got to show it to them.
So we have to show it to the people. So, you know, the spiritual advisor has been up. Do you have Holy Scripture for us today? The spiritual advisor has been to the Mount Olympus, and he's come back with Holy Scripture. And do you have any Holy Scripture?
No, not today.
We got.
I'll be prepared. Be prepared tomorrow.
So listen, I'm going to take you to Mount Albuena, right? Is that still the holy place? I'm going to take you to Mount Albuena and see if you could find some new Holy Scripture up on Mount Albuena. How does that sound?
Well, God's holy place is now us.
Okay.
We are His temple.
Don't worry about that. But I
Because
will carry you there.
he dwells in us by His Spirit. So we are His temple.
So I can let you carry your holy place to that holy place, and you shouldn't miss all that holiness up there.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if a dove don't descend, right? So,
Indeed.
So, are there any things you're looking forward to this week that you think just as somebody that you've never been to Cat Island?
No, this is my first time
Your
actually.
very first. Welcome to
Very
Cat
first
Island,
time,
right? And I tell you, like, dropping him after this tomorrow. When you all see his passport, he can name Bradley Roll / Miller, and I'm gonna drop him. He's gonna be my third
It's
son.
beautiful though.
Yeah.
I love it.
But when you think about Cat Island as somebody that's never been, right, and you get on the ground in Cat Island, of course you see it has a regular Family Island airport, but we landed in here. Do you remember what the pilot said to us?
I'm trying to remember.
He said this is one of the best runways I've ever landed on.
Oh yeah, it is nice.
Yeah, he said this
it is
runway.
nice. Yeah,
This is the pilot. The pilot said this is
It is
a
nice.
runway.
Yes.
This is one of the best runways I've ever landed on. And I told you that after having many years of experience with flying in another Cat Island, it wasn't always that way. I can tell you that for a fact, right? And I remember like maybe 3 years ago, maybe was it maybe 3.5, 4 years ago? I remember when the runway was in dire need of some redevelopment and resurfacing, but that has changed. So coming into here, seeing what you see, coming onto the Fountain Bay property, what exactly is your mind? How does it feel?
This is paradise, honestly. I am breathtaken away, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. And this breeze is just so soothing. Eh?
It's very islandy.
Ooh,
and
wow.
you said something on the way in here. You said, there's no wonder why island people live so long. That you said because
it's
if you could live
relaxed.
like this every day,
Absolutely.
away from the hustle and the bustle of Nassau and the fastness and the traffic and the no red. I think red lights is what has raised your pressure. Yeah, everywhere I've been where there are no red lights, the people don't have pressure problems, right? So, but there is still so much more to be done because you've
Of
also
course.
said on the way in here, well, there's a lot of just barren land, and when you consider Cat Island. I think it's about 64 miles long, if my memory is serving me correctly. You think about what the population is like, right? You think about how the economy of the Bahamas is, and so much of its e-commerce is in, or so much of its economics and commerce is in New Providence, right? People have to begin to make real intentional effort about coming, no matter what the government does. People have to decide that at some point we have to make good effort and actually come back while the infrastructure is in fact developing and while things are getting better. That I'm going to come back home, I'm going to bite the bullet, I'm going to go and I'm going to do some things, and I'm going to make sure some things happen in Cat Island. And so one of the other things behind the show this week, and the others that will come, because I trust that my wonderful friends at the Ministry of Tourism are going to be so kind to our spiritual advisor that they're going to send us to Cat Island and to Eleuthera and to wherever tourists could go, right? And by tourists I mean anyone that's not from the place. I think if people can begin to see the place, they will understand the opportunities that are available, right? Because a lot of people, and I found this out in my talking back and forward at my local community watering hole, many people left the family island 30 and 40 years ago and never returned. So in their minds, they still see the little track road place that they left when they was 12. They still see the toting water up the hill. They still see the hour-long walk to the shops. They don't. Their minds have not evolved to believing the islands provide the kind of opportunities that we can visibly see here, right? That we can actually move about, and if you've done it over time, you can actually see the progression. On the way in here, I showed you the new plaza. When I came to Cat Island 21 years, that wasn't here, right? As a matter of fact, it wasn't here up to 5 years ago. But it speaks volumes that the population is shifting, things are happening, the economy is picking up. Of course, we went through 4 years of whatever COVID was, right? And whoever is to blame for that, whether you blame the government, whether you blame the scientists, whether you blame whoever you blame for COVID and its handling, right? I like to say it was Dr. Minister that messed it up, but who knows? Everybody doesn't share that view. The entire Bahamas, particularly the Family Islands, are making a rebound. And that is something that I think a government can be happy about, but I also think it is something that the people on the island can be happy about, right? So you go around, you see places like the regatta site that we went through, right? You
Regatta site is
the colorful area.
Oh,
that
that's
we
the
drove
regatta
through.
site there?
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And you see that even in the middle of the day, there is movement about. People are getting into the spaces and occupying the spaces, and it's pretty upkept. It's not run down. It's a lot different than what I perceive, people perceive Family Islands are like. And so when they say things to me, right, like, you know, I hear it very often. What has Brave done in Cat Island, right? He's been here 20 years, right? I think he has actually, for a small island in the south, he's actually kept Cat Island keeping pace at a rate of speed that whenever the possibility for development comes or came, Cat Island was able to at some point benefit from some of the development. And I think that's what Fountain Bay is a testimony of.
But I've only gotten a chance to just look briefly. But what I can tell you from what I saw so far, there's a great distance to go. Honestly, there's still plenty more work to be done.
There's 64 miles of island.
Right, but here's my thing about governments,
Sure.
and both governments have failed the people, right? If you look at the Family Islands, for some strange reason, our mind tells us that the Bahamas is New Providence. But New Providence
our mind tells Nasuvians that.
Yeah.
Family Islands don't feel that way.
But like, say for instance, when you look at this, right? You say to yourself, I mean, just look at this place. This is almost like paradise.
Right.
So why hasn't governments over the years placed more concentration on developing and bringing the islands to the point where they are, where New Providence is, where people would actually hustle and bustle, business will be going and booming. But it's not here in the Family Islands where all the beauty is.
Well,
it doesn't make any sense.
So here's the thing, right? So maybe
it doesn't make sense.
Maybe we need to incentivize not just the place. Okay, so one of the greatest, in my view, things that hampers my desire to travel to the Family Islands is the ticket prices sometimes, right? Like, I don't understand if the whole thing is the Bahamas, why it costs so much money to get to places in the Bahamas. That makes no sense to me. And we've seen it for many years with Grand Bahama, right? Like, it is unbelievably expensive to go right there to Grand Bahama. It's a 35-minute flight.
Fuel.
It shouldn't cost me... Fuel is a standard price.
We need to start getting our fuel from Venezuela.
And so maybe, see, now you're talking about getting us in problem with our enduring friends, right?
We need to get our fuel from Venezuela, and that'll cut the price.
Donald Trump, when you all canceling visa,
but
make sure. Hold on, you let me talk to the president, Mr. President. I never said nothing about Venezuelan fuel. That was this fella here.
Yeah, we need to get our fuel from there.
So when you all vetting visas, and who can't have one? His name is, matter of fact, I'm unadopting you now. His name is Bradley Roll. You all take his visa, because I'm going to need mine. I'd like to go to Hialeah Boulevard and go do some shopping and things like that. So I'm not ever going to say let's buy the fuel from Venezuela.
But getting back to the Family Islands, if the government can come up with a plan to develop the islands more, maybe we can find, maybe people would then move away from the Providence and come to the Family Islands.
But I think,
you know,
I think
this is where you should live.
You are going
Cat Island is beautiful. This is a beautiful place. You are going to get
an opportunity this week, Spiritual Advisor, because the Cat Island Regatta begins on Friday, right? So certainly for the last day, and I understand that the Minister of Tourism is expected to be here. So hopefully we snag
we won't see anything.
Hopefully we snag an interview with the What are you talking about?
We're leaving.
We're doing the show from here Friday. So how will we not see anything? We will be right here on Friday.
All right.
But the point I'm making is you will get an opportunity to see as the mail boats come in, as the planes begin to land. You will get to see that this island is already in a position to handle a capacity 4 or 5 times larger than the population that lives here. You will get to see it. There will be traffic jams. There will be lines in the restaurant. So you cannot say that the capacity isn't there. What we have to do now, though, is figure out how to move the people to the mountain, because the mountain can't move. And so I say, and I believe the most brilliant person to get this done is I. Chester Cooper, because not only is he an astute businessman, but he seems to have quite a bit of savvy for the tourism product and how to get it sold. Now that places like Grand Bahama are up and running, right? I see that they no longer than last week, they had 2 cruise ships tied up alongside, and I understand that they got 1 minimum every day. So now that Freeport people have disposable income, now that Biminites have the disposable income. I was in Bimini in March of this year, and the Bimini people don't even want my Bahamian money. When you take out a Bahamian $50 in Bimini, they look at your money like it have something on it that is a plague. Biminites have no desire to touch your Bahamian money. If you try to spend more than a Bahamian $10, Biminites is give you the stink face. Because where you going with this money, right? The point I'm making, Spiritual Advisor, is now that we have an archipelago of islands that are up and running, Eleuthera is in full steam. Why have we not figured out?
Well, I haven't seen that, so I mean, I can't.
I'm reporting it to you.
Okay.
Well, you listen to CNN.
I know one thing's sure. I would like to get an opportunity to speak with the Prime Minister if he does come down.
All you have to do is look for the fellow who looks just like you.
About really trying to push Cat Island to the point where it should be. Because what I'm saying so far, there's a lot of work to be done.
And I'm telling you, Spiritual Advisor, there is a lot of work that has been done.
Well, I won't know, because then I don't know what to compare. Because it's my first time here.
But you jump straight past the point. Listen to the point I made to you. In about a day and a half, You saw how we was able to mosey here uninterrupted, no car on the road, just us.
Okay.
How we went by the restaurant and there was about 5 people there. In a day and a half, what you will see is that all of the restaurants will fill up. And there will be enough food, there will be enough entertainment, there will be enough nightlife to accommodate those people. In a day and a half, you will see that all of the car rental companies will be at capacity almost. And the car count will go from 2 or 3 cars on the road to hundreds of cars on the road. And I'm saying to you that the economy is already in a position to catch the weight of about 5 times the size of the population.
But before we jump to that, we have to fix the infrastructure a bit. And here's my case in point. Some of the roads are a bit narrow. I think the government needs to find a way to widen the roads a bit so the 2 cars. I mean, you say they pass comfortably, but in my mind, I'm thinking.
We pass 2 cars on the way
Yeah,
up.
but I mean the roads are a bit narrow. They should.
You want them to make bigger roads?
Of course, why not? I mean, they got the
who?
space.
But
That's the point for the people.
So now you sound like your argument should be that Brave need to convince the Bahamian woman them to make more Bahamian baby. Anyway, by the time as I'm done, I'm going to convert him. Don't go anywhere though. I think I hear the jingle. If that's the jingle, you stay with us. We're on 103.5 to Beat FM. This is Freedom March. I'm Levan Miller. Bradley Roll, the spiritual advisor, is with me. We're in Kid Island, and we'll be right back after the break. doing with 20 knots almost. Hello, welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you so much for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. We're on 103.5 The Beat FM. We're on channel 224, channel 112, and of course on ILTV Studios on Facebook. Bradley Rule is the spiritual advisor, and he's with me in Kid Island. I hear he sound like he's trying to take up residency. Spiritual advisor, you have to go back to Nassau. The people them only send us here till Friday. No, you can't stay on these people beach no matter what happened. Even if Friday don't come, you have to go.
I gotta get a piece of Cat Island, man. I gotta get a piece of this.
Find yourself one glass bottle.
This is beautiful.
The best we could do for you. Let me tell you what we could do for you. Find yourself one glass bottle. Take up some of that sand, put it in the glass bottle, put a cover on that bottle, and you can carry some of that. That's the best we could do for you. All right?
So we're at Ezra Russell Place, right?
We are at Fountain Bay.
Yeah, we got to congratulate him. This is a beautiful place.
No, it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. It is. But I will say to you, spiritual advisors, unlike the Grand Bahamas of the Bahamas, unlike the Eleuthera of the Bahamas, right, where for some reason the government continues to inject so much of its energy. Cat Islanders have an unparalleled resilience about them, right? And again, you only just got here, so give me some time. I'll show you the place.
Okay.
What you will see is as you go all along the roadways, Cat Islanders are not afraid to build home, which is a far cry from so many other family islands, right? Like, and even because I say Grand Bahama, but really and truly, even if you talk about the West End and 8 Mile Rock area of Grand Bahama, you don't see Bahamians building their hometown the way you see Cat Islanders on every occasion they get coming to try and see if they can put something in the ground on Cat Island, right? And so like I was saying before we went to the break, I think maybe Chester Cooper, as the Minister of Tourism, has to start some sort of they like to talk about a national sovereign wealth fund, right? Mm-hmm. Well, living in an archipelago is a sovereign wealth. Because you should be able to move island to island. Like, why can't I go and party in South Andros and be back home tomorrow morning because I have a ferry that could get me to and from Andros in 45 minutes? Why isn't that something we could consider? Why can't I live in Exuma or live in Eleuthera and decide that I come into Cat Island to party tonight, and in the morning the fast ferry will take me back to They don't have that.
They had it.
Who had it?
They had a couple was fast ferries on
only until you wake up. That's never happened.
No?
Right, in your dream it happened one time. That was the last time it ever happened. When the ferries they call the fast ferry, they're fast enough. So do you remember there was a guy by the name of the Aga Khan? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember the name. Okay.
When I served between 2004 and 2014, I remember the Aga Khan had a high-speed jet-propelled yacht that could take him from Bell Island to Nassau in, I think it was, an hour. See, if we invest in that kind of thing, then the beauty of living in an archipelago makes some sense.
Okay.
And so maybe, right, they like Teeth the ideas. Teeth this one and do the thing you always do with ChatGPT. So if you want to start a sovereign wealth fund, the first place to start it would be putting some money in escrow every year. Like how, we took the BTC 2% that we still ain't sure exactly where that is go.
Okay.
You take that money and you incentivize small airplane companies. You incentivize all airplane companies, right? And you do it on a tiered scale. So if you have a 9-seater, the government of the Bahamas will give you 25. I don't know what it costs to run an airplane. I just call the numbers. 9-seater, the government of the Bahamas will give you a $25,000 government grant annually. If you have a 5-seater, you could get a $12,000 government grant. If you have a 32-seater, you get a $50,000. You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And what it does is it offsets operational costs. Because you remember when they used to say the reason you couldn't sell things like BEC and Batelco and Bahamas Air were because they were state assets. Mm-hmm. And because we lived in an archipelago, the government needed to keep its control so that the government could ensure that you could have a phone in Nassau on East Street and Fowler Street, but you could also have a phone in Landrell Point, right? And we've seen that they've moved away from that because none of the phone companies are owned by the government of the Bahamas anymore. And if they are owned, they're certainly not managed and operated by the government of the Bahamas.
No.
So I'm saying the same concept applies. You create, I don't know what you'd call it, the National Go to Every Family Island Authority. right? And the government just puts $10 million in this authority every year. And the goal of the authority, right, is to regulate the civil aviation part of travel. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
And every year, once you are a registered member of the Civil Aviation Authority, whatever they would call themselves, you go and the government asks you, which island do you service? Which may also be a consideration, because if you're going, you know, you can need a little more than 25. Auckland's is moved that far, right? So, but what it would do is, on the purchaser end, right, when Bradley Roll goes to the counter to purchase a ticket, because he won't go to Barron Point, or when Bradley Roll purchases a ticket because he won't go to wherever a plane lands, Matthew Town, there should be a set price to travel through the Bahamas. Because the whole thing is the Bahamas. Could you explain to me why?
That's very difficult to do because
how?
Distance and fuel will always be a problem.
Yes, Bradley, but there is a cost of operation associated with every business. You agree?
Okay.
So if there is a cost of operation, that means every plane operator could tell me how much money he needs annually to run his company. And the government of the Bahamas will absorb 20% in an effort to get people moving through these islands. Because I'll tell you one thing, you could say whatever you want about the development on these family islands. Nothing moves economy like moving people. The economy has to be there for the people.
Yeah.
And if the people could move, right, then you have to create beds and breakfast. You have to create little convenience store. If I could have come, what close to Nassau? South Andres, right? If I could have speed over to South Andres and party on the weekend and come right back, I would do that. And they would have to have a nightclub there for me to do that. And they would have to have a bed and breakfast there for me to do that. And somebody got to open up a little convenience store, right? And then a couple of the pretty girls who live with me, they come back home because guess what? They live in Nassau and hustle and the bustle, but there would be Andres there that they could come and live and walk on the beach, and they know that decent middle income. And these things go hand in hand, is what I'm saying to you, spiritual advisor, right? So while things like Fountain Bay are wonderful, self-driven projects that again, I think you will see all over Cat Island. And in my mind, I cannot think about another island that has done it the way Cat Islanders have done it, right? I've not been to every single one, but I've been to quite a few. When you look at what it is that the Cat Island population has proven they are prepared to invest in Cat Island itself, right? If we can trigger a movement of Bahamians, because we say tourism so slackly. Tourism don't always mean white people from America and Canada dying.
Yeah.
Tourism don't mean that.
Yeah.
Tourism mean anyone who ain't from here. So if a fella gone from making $0 in Freeport because the place was break up for 30 years, right? He couldn't go from West End Gate to 8 Mile Rock Wall. He couldn't do it. He ain't had enough money, right? Now RCL landing 2 ships every day with 9,000 people on board. If he makes $1 a day from every one of them people that come off the boat,
Right.
okay? You ain't think he won't come get Island? But how he can come? First of all, he can't get a flight pass or something, right? And then when he try, the flight probably could be $400. And he ain't gonna spend that because he could spend $400 to go to Miami. If you create what I said we can call it, the gun to the Every Family Island Authority, that injects $20 million into civil aviation. And that injection into civil aviation isn't just for the infrastructure. It goes to the small businessman for his participation in the domestic tourism market and the domestic tourism product. I think that's a wonderful idea. So, what the boy name? Michael Pentad. If you feel like thieving another idea from me, listen, this one is perfect. And I get like what I could do, I could tell it to Bradley. So when you all hire him as a consultant, yeah, when you all here, when Bradley as a consultant, Bradley can come in the room and he can say this is the idea. And I want you all to tell him it's brilliant. But at least you all have created something that has increased the family island on the family island that impacts family island economies, Bradley. That's what I think will work.
I got a quick read.
Sure.
McDonald's is celebrating 50 years of serving smiles to the Nassau community. Join the Bay Street downtown location on Monday, August the 4th, beginning at 1 p.m. Your family can enjoy free entertainment, games, and prizes. So join Mo at the community event to celebrate McDonald's 50th anniversary in Nassau. and its core values of service, inclusion, integrity, community, and family. The festivities begin at 1 p.m. on Monday, August the 4th, at Bay Street downtown location.
All right, so you can take your family down there. They should have. I have a question. Will the ice cream machine be working? Will the ice cream machine be working?
More than likely it will.
All right. So where were we? Yeah. So these are the things. So you remember I talked to you yesterday about the Free National Movement and their tour they're having. You remember the name of the tour?
You're having a tour.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
The Free National Movement is actively engaged in a tour. You remember what the tour name?
No, you're not going to talk about the bathroom, right?
Tour de Bathroom Public a la FNM. That's what the tour name. Because I can't understand why hold on. So a whole candidate. Okay, let's go through some simple questions, spiritual advisor. Name me the name of a prime minister in the last 40 years that has become prime minister without winning South Beach. Somebody cue the Jeopardy music.
None.
Name me the one time South Beach has ever sat as an opposition seat. Let me help you. Never.
You sure?
So if the one way to becoming prime minister
is through South Beach,
is through South Beach,
you can fix the bathroom?
No. You think the best thing for you to come in South Beach talking about is how the bathroom door missing? And I'm saying to you that in policy making, Bradley, you have to have people that could think about policy, because mopping the bathroom floor ain't a policy, Bradley. You understand what I'm saying? So when you come in South Beach to a middle income neighborhood with people that have disposable income and that is the whole of South Beach, everybody was a customs officer that year. You remember that?
Okay.
So if you work for the customs or the police force and you live in South Beach, chances are Vincent Pete get you hired. Right? I see they say they need 2,000 police officers, and I smiled when I saw that, because I say all they would need to do is go call Vincent Pete. Vincent Pete could hire 2,000 police officers for them right now. Because I remember when Vincent Pete had the whole of South Beach in customs, the police force, and I think he get one or two of them in the defense force as well, round about 87, 88. Right? And so I'm saying that when you consider wanting to be in public life, like the electorate has transitioned, spiritual advisor, you can't come tell me nothing about, oh, you saw that clip from Michael, folks? This bathroom needs to fix right now. The door is breaking off. It lock right now. Where the children gonna go? You must be an idiot, because we have islands like Cat Island, right? That is literally, Cat Island literally needs one car. But luckily, it's a stick-shift vehicle, right? Cat Island in the deep southeast. See, because that would be a problem. Cat Island in miles and miles and miles and miles away.
Took us like what, 45 minutes to get here?
About 38 minutes, I think, if I timed it correctly.
Okay.
Right? So it's 38 minutes outside of the capital, right? It's bordered by Eleuthera.
Yeah, it's not Eleuthera.
It ain't a way you can tell me Eleuthera over there catching fire with their economy, and 12 minutes away, you still have an economy that could be super performing. Because if you shift the population, Bradley, you automatically shift the economy. That don't make simple math sense to you when I say it?
Yeah.
How do we do it? And this is what I would like an administration, either present or intending to be the government, to tell me. But I think this is a good first step, right? Like I said, we're only here because the Ministry of Tourism sent us here.
Okay.
Thank you to the Ministry of Tourism. And it is because the Ministry of Tourism wants to test how much of an appetite Bahamians have to come and see this, right? Because maybe you're like living in a city, and you remember I said to you yesterday, you can't just create a policy, you have to consider the culture. So maybe Nasuvians love being in traffic. Y'all like knocking on dog and thing. I don't know what y'all like to do. You know, but maybe if we show y'all what a beach look like in the middle of the day, you might decide that you don't want to live through a corner where nobody's collect your garbage no more. You don't want to live where Pookie them is. You following me?
Mm-hmm.
And so
now how are you going to get the people from the capital onto the family island?
This is what I'm saying. So you have to test the appetite, right? Like what will showing the people the place do for it? If you show the people what the place looks like, right? And this is how restaurants get you to come inside. You think you ever been inside any one of them fast food eatery and the people fry your fries like the set you see on TV? Never.
Yeah, man.
Never.
Yeah, they do it.
You ever see any burger you buy look like the burger on the flyer?
Yeah, no. Well, okay.
But you got to show it to them, right? And I'm saying, at least when you get to places like Cat Island, they beat the restaurants because this beach is a beach. You agree with me?
Yeah, this is beautiful.
This is a fantastic beach. I want to wake up here every day, sometimes naked. It is a wonderful beach. Yeah?
It's beautiful.
But what if people can't see it, Bradley? And so that's why I say I want to commend the Ministry of Tourism for their concept. That maybe if you show it to people, they will want to come for it. Mm-hmm. And so hopefully this is a first step. Hopefully there are several steps that will follow the first step, Bradley. And we'll be able to see whether or not there is an uptick from there. And then you take it to another island and see if there's an uptick from there. Because you have to test these things, you know. You have to test the strategy. You have to fire, adjust, and fire again.
But along with that, though, the government needs to find a way to drive the economy in the family islands.
Okay.
And driving the economy, then you'll have more people coming because there'll be things.
Okay, so let's
you gotta drive the economy.
Let's play a little game called We Can Make Bradley the Prime Minister for the next 3 minutes. Want to play that little game with me?
Okay.
Bradley Roll wakes up reincarnated tomorrow morning. He is now Bradley Brave Davis. Right?
Well, they tell me I look like Brave.
Right.
That's
How would you fix Cat Island?
The first thing, it does seem as if we need some help with the infrastructure.
Yeah, but
definitely.
But when you talk about infrastructure, you're talking about to the tunes of hundreds of millions of dollars. But the road is being paved. And the airport is being built. So you
driving more cruise ships to the island, things of that nature.
Well, that may be a good one, but where would you put the cruise ship? Because I can tell you this. Listen, in order for cruise ship to come, we're going to have to dig up something. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Cruise ship can't come unless you dig something up.
You dredge. Do you have to, though?
And
where's the ocean side here?
Over there.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the cruise ship them ain't talking in no ocean side. I can tell you that. The cruise ships will never opt to be on the ocean side.
Well, the government should consider something, though.
Don't tell me about the government. You are now Prime Minister for the next 3 minutes. All right? And you ain't say nothing new that Brave ain't do. You say airport, they building one. You say pave the road, they pave it.
I say, okay. Along with paving the roads obviously have to improve.
Sure.
They have to.
Sure. But you want to build you want to build a 4-lane highway? That's what you want to do?
No.
Well, what do you want to do, Bradley?
Well, you could create a highway from north to south that would move the traffic a bit more, for me, safer.
You've been to Freeport?
Yeah.
When last you been to Freeport?
Maybe about 8 years ago.
So, for 55 years.
We can't use Freeport. That thing is totally planned.
But I want to. This is my exact point.
They sat down and they completely planned it.
But you know what happened to Freeport? The city crumbled. There was no people there to carry the weight of the city. So when the city crumbled, right? So when the city, I'm just trying to help you with this because Freeport is one of those family islands that doesn't look like a family island. It has actually pretty modern infrastructure, right?
That's the city, yeah. But when you get
I'm going to tell you, but if you drive into 8 Mile Rock
and all that, then you see what you see here, basically.
Now, don't drive into West End and 8 Mile Rock. Let's just go right in the anything other than Alukaya, which is what they upkeep for the tourists, right? So when you go into Pine Ridge, which is where Ginger Moxie is, right? You see how the infrastructure there is beginning to. They don't have enough population. Freeport was designed for 500,000 people. Right?
Okay.
I think at the high end, they had about 55,000 people living there. 75 if you include the 70s and the 80s when Borkel was bringing everybody down. there is no answer except we incentivize childbirth, and that's a 20-year plan, right? Or we recruit some citizens, and Bahamians are xenophobic, or we make the whole and we only we have Negro xenophobia because we really like Europeans, right? We love them actually. We don't start
white people then.
We don't start disliking foreigners till they black. Okay, so wow. So outside of that, outside of incentivizing the population, I mean the birth rate, right? Because you could do that, but that's 20 years away from here. You could recruit citizens, but Bahamians and recruiting citizens, Bahamians into that. You could turn the place into a sin city, and Bradley don't like that idea.
No, we can't forget God, man.
I say forget God. I say you make it a place of play.
We'll burn.
So you turn the whole Bahamas into a place of play, and you just use these islands for play, and let people with droves and droves and droves of money come and play on the island. That is also another option, but the Christian Council ain't like that.
No, we can't. We can't
so
turn
Bradley
our
say,
paradise into hell.
So Bradley say, bring the cruise ship. Well, the minute you rest an excavator out there, let me tell you, what the fella name from Grandmama? Fred Smith.
Okay.
Fred Smith them will have. Now, the one thing I like about the environmentalists, right, is if you drop an excavator out there, they'll kill you. But they're going to fly their jet to come kill you. I love that about environmentalists. So they just fly their jet to come tell you what you do in destroying the planet, right? And all I'm saying, Bradley, is because of the archipelagic makeup of the Bahamas, I think sometimes Bahamians don't credit how difficult it must
we understand
be to
that.
be Prime Minister.
Yes, we understand. Well, I mean, to develop all the family islands, it is a difficult thing. But I think if we had started this many years ago, we could have been further ahead.
Now, if I tell you something, you won't believe this, but I'm sure that you may know it because you have some knowledge of that area. Do you know that there are parts of Canada that the Canadian government don't take care of?
Okay.
Them people who live up in the mountain, the Canadian government don't accept no responsibility for them. But it's because the people have chosen to live there, right? So, like road and things like that, they just make their own roads. Because that's where they've chosen to live. Now, the question is, will a prime minister at some point say, okay, family island people, here's the deal. Pick 3. And everybody can live on these 3 islands. That ain't going to work. I'm telling you that's not going to work. So what do you do when you have 14 inhabited islands? Everyone will live where mama was from. Right? Because they ain't moving. Even if you go on one island, you can't convince all the people on one island to move in one area. So that means from Port Howe in the south to Orange Creek in the north, the government have to figure out how to put light there. Even when you get to places like Dean Stretch where there is no human being, but we got to run electricity past it in order to get it south. Yes? It is difficult. It is all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it should be easy. I'm saying that it's difficult. But I interrupt 90 seconds of you being Prime Minister. Tell me the next 2 things you was going to do, Mr. Prime Minister Bradley.
We still go to the break.
Don't worry about it.
When we come back,
you got a minute, so use your minute and tell me.
I mean, in all honesty, I have to take a talk at Island first, man.
Okay, so
I'm green. I mean,
so tomorrow when we come on the show, right after
if we have enough time to look at some things, yeah.
We have all day today. And by the time as I'm done, you could be able to be a Cat Island tour guide when I finish with you, right?
Yeah.
Because you could be able to see all the things, yeah. Right?
Okay.
You think I can let you walk up and down on this beach all day? You tell a lie. That's enough of that bunch of beach stuff all day.
I got to hit the water, though. I got to hit the water. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And then tomorrow, you could tell the people what the 3 things is you was going to do if you... Because it's easy to tell me what Brave ain't do. That easy to do. You see what I said? What I want you to do is tell me if you had to deal with the problem, how would you deal with the... Because that's when it get hard. You saw them fellas who tell the woman she should leave me.
But I can tell
they wasn't better than me. They just wanted the woman.
There are a couple of people in Cat Island who I could actually speak to.
Yeah.
And interview.
I'm going to try to see if I can get a couple of them. We got on the ground a little later than I thought, but we're going to talk to a couple of Cat Islanders. How far are we from the break? I think I hear the jingle. Is that the jingle? All right. Well, you're listening to Freedom March. Don't move. We're in Cat Island. You see the beach? The beach behind me. At some point, producer, I want you to zoom in on the beach is behind me. It is wonderful. We're here at the Fountain Bay Resorts. You should come check it out at some point. Don't go anywhere. Freedom March, Bradley Road, Levan Miller. We'll be right back after this break.
Radio, Cat Island.
We live. Thank you so much. Listen, I talk to the people. Y'all think only spiritual advisor have the whisperers who summons them? No, the whisperers summons me too. And so the wind tell me they can't see no beach. Well, y'all can just watch this whole show and they tell me y'all couldn't see beach. I tell you, all I have behind me is picturesque beach right here in New Bight, Cat Island. We're sitting on the Fountain Bay property in New Bight, Cat Island. It is a splendid sight to behold down here. And, you know, tomorrow I'm going to see if we can set the table them up in the water. Because, you know, I should have all that beach out there. And I be over here doing foolishness on this balcony. That don't make sense to me. So we're going to put an end to that. You should come and check this out at some point whenever you get an opportunity. And see what the place you live in has to offer. See what the Bahamas you love has to offer. Because, you know, y'all like to beat your chest. I's a Bahamian. I's a proud Bahamian. You never been past Wolf Road from you born. I's a Bahamian and I's a proud. This land for me and you. And you never been past Camp Road from you born. You wave your flag when July come. That's the only time you ever wave any flag. And you sing the little song, this land is my land. This land is from Grand Bahama. You can't show me Grand Bahama on a map. So, I say, we've got to start figuring out how to move people. We've got to start figuring out how to get people pushed towards these family islands. And I think the best person to do that, the best person to tell us how, is somebody that has been around the family island, that knows the family island, that knows what it takes in order to get, you know, the economy moving. He's with me this afternoon. We're not in studio. I'm not in studio. Man, that feels so good to say. He's with me, not in studio. But he is the founder and the CEO and the developer down here at Fountain Bay. Before we get to him, though, let me send a special, very special shout out to my barber. I just cut my hair every Wednesday. But I told my barber, I said, I can't come Wednesday. What you could do for me? And praise the Lord, my good friend and barber, Ali from Island Connect, he said, don't worry about that, lover. I got you covered. Come at X hour. And I went there at X hour, and just like it always is, it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And the thing I like about my barber is you could go there, you could get your hair cut while you're getting your car clean, and you could go buy your water. So when Sofan send you to buy water, don't worry about that. You just go right by Ali, by Island Connect, buy your water from there, get your car clean, and get your hair cut, all in one breath of air. And you can't mess that up. And also I want to say a special shout out to the person that designed these shirts for me. Yeah, I told her I was going to Cat Island. She says, well, I have to get you another shirt. You know, the independence time came, and I wanted to have some independency shirt. That's what I like to call them, independency. And yeah, she made sure that I had enough independency shirt to get me through the whole July period. But I'm joined here. Mr. Ezra Russell is with me. Good afternoon, Ezra. How's everything?
Good afternoon, Ivan, and good afternoon, Bahamas. And I'm so grateful for you to be in Cat Island, at one of the most beautifulest places in the world.
So listen to me. Anybody ever tell you something and then you had to try play like you wasn't excited? So tourism tell me, oh, we thinking about sending you to Cat Island. I said, what? Man, no, don't send me. I don't want to go. So they say, no, you know, the regatta is coming, and we've been following Freedom March. We like Freedom March. We wanted to send you all there ahead of the regatta. I said, we can't go somewhere else. I was so happy they were sending me Cat Island.
They didn't know that's all you was waiting on, huh?
Yeah. So I didn't want to tell them before they buy the ticket, right?
Right.
So as soon as I see they lock the ticket in, I say, boy, we getting to Cat Island.
We getting Cat Island.
So I'm happy to be down in Cat Island, home of the Reagan's Great Band, they tell me. But we're here on Fountain Bay. And I know you've been in and around, not in and around, because you are Mr. Cat Island. I've told Bradley, I've seen the development of Cat Island over the last 21 years. I think if I have that much depth in my memory. I've seen some progress and some growth. You know, this year the budget team was developing the Bahamas island by island. I mean, but like Bradley has said, there's still so much more to be done. As somebody that has been steeped in it, where do you see Cat Island?
You want the truth, or you want me
the whole truth? So help you God.
Well, see, me and the spiritual advisor, we go to church, so so we can't really lie like that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Cat Island has come a good way forward right now.
Sure.
But it's still lagging attention.
Okay.
Here's when I say attention. You need to put people in place who has the plan, who know how to move the economy and get things done. The Prime Minister can drive his plan, but he have to put people around him who can execute it.
Sure.
To make it look like we are going somewhere.
Okay.
And we are getting some things done.
Okay.
Our problem is that we have a breakdown in communication.
Okay.
So you see Cat Island want to move forward, and then you see it on the next one, it's lagging. Because communication is not where it ought to be, so that we can get the ball rolling and everybody can feel happy and everybody can see exactly what the government is trying to do.
Now, let me ask you this, Ezra, because on my way in here, like I told Bradley again, I remember when I couldn't see the new airport building because the bush was so high around it. The last time I was here, I heard about the building. I couldn't see it. Today, I can actually see that there are two buildings coming out of the ground with a roof on top of it. On my way here, right, other than that little piece of the road up there by the convenience store, the entire road from the airport up to here has been resurfaced. And I mean, and while people may say these are all just the things governments should be doing, I don't know if I can say that we see neglect, because you can actually see the infrastructure going in.
It's not that our governments don't pay attention to the Family Island. I'm going to say it again, Yvonne, and you could pick it up.
Sure.
You have a plan. You put it out there to your people around you. Is your people capable enough to execute it?
That would matter a whole lot. That would matter a whole lot.
That's what's matter.
Yeah.
So when you see an airport was getting built in the bush,
Right.
now you see, you putting the cart before the horse.
Okay.
The area should have already been properly managed,
Okay.
so that when you put a building down and you fence it in,
Right.
everybody can see the plan.
Okay. Okay.
You-
So you're saying it's not so much the what, but the how.
It's the how.
Okay.
We are grateful that it started.
Right.
Don't get us wrong. We're happy. We more than happy. Now we have an opportunity to look forward for something. But it could have been more at a pace where a spiritual advisor wouldn't have been so doubtful when he comes to Cat Island.
Right. But it's easy to criticize what is when you don't know what was.
Well, he could see what was,
Okay.
because he learned to what was.
Correct.
And now he's saying what it will be
Right. What will be.
in the future.
Correct.
I'm saying, if the planet right, what is and what was now to come,
Would be closer together.
they'll be closer together, and then you can see the whole structure.
Right. I mean, and I guess that makes some sense. But so we talked about the challenge of governing an archipelago, right? And I know Mr. Christie used to say it all the time. When the JLP them could get away with building one airport, the PLP can't get away with that. They got to build 9 airports. When the JLP, so there are very few places in the world that we could compare governance to. When we pound for pound put it against what it's like to governing the Bahamas. It's not easy governing an archipelago.
No.
Now, I never like people who tell me governance is hard, and it's because governance ain't supposed to be easy. If every day of your life in governance was easy, that means you must see was governing a graveyard. Because everywhere you go, as long as you have people that are living and breathing and moving and thriving and thinking, a government has to think, move, thrive, and grow faster than the people. And so there are two things that I think Cat Island has going for it, right? Again, I've said this before, the resiliency of the Cat Island people. There's not a time that I come to Cat Island and some Cat Islander isn't taking on some major investment or development. As recent as right up the street here where the new plaza is. Cat Islanders seem to, no matter how well they do where they are, they want to come back to Cat Island and put it in the ground there. I'm not sure all Family Islands enjoy that. That is certainly something that I can tie to Cat Island people. I mean, but when you say the communication between, I guess, government and the investors, or government and the growing-minded population in Kid Island, how do we close that gap?
It's easy, simple. Jesus said to his disciples, when his disciples asked him the question, Master, how come you can do this, but we can't? Jesus simply put it this way. He said, these kind come by what? Fasting and praying. Governments don't do that, so we ain't worrying about that.
Sure.
Here's where they could come together. Communication. You find the strongholds in your island. You find out how they feel and what they want. And you work with that. See, because when you work with what the people want, it's easier for you to operate and function.
Sure.
It's like a man has a family in his house. If he don't communicate with his wife, your whole house will be in an uproar.
The children will certainly be in disarray because they could pitch all. But Ezra, okay, so see, here's another thing, and I heard spiritual advice. You know, I give him 3 minutes to be the prime minister.
Yeah.
I wasn't voting for him, so I got to give him a new 3 minutes tomorrow. He say, give him a chance to see the place. He come back to tell me when he's prime minister for 3 minutes what he was going to do to fix Kid Island. There is a very delicate dance when you get into these very niche family islands, because like I told him, you could say bring the cruise ship to Kid Island. I promise you, if you drop an excavator in Smith's Bay, the whole of Kid Island will revolt against you. It is because as much as family islanders want big, they also want small. And those two things don't always exist together.
But here, see, there's another thing again. That's why when I tell you, you're very brilliant. And you said some things earlier, and I laughed. Hear how you moved. I want you to ask me the question. Put me in the prime minister's seat right now for
3
Kid
minutes.
Island
You
for
want to
3
be prime
minutes.
minister for 3 minutes?
3 minutes.
3
And let
minutes.
me show you how I'll move this economy in 3 minutes.
Okay, so for the next 3 minutes, use Ezra Brave Russell. How we fixing Kid Island?
First thing, what Kid Island is named for?
I don't know. You have to tell me.
Historical stuff.
Okay, I going to say for the cats, but I never see a cat in Kid Island.
Historical. Okay? In 1952, Kid Island had more than 15,000 people living here.
On this island?
The same island. They were here for a reason. You know what the reason was? We had plantations.
Okay.
Conlangevo Plantation, Nigger Hill Plantation, Cotton Grove Plantation, the Pineapple Plantation, the Sisal Plantation, Golden Grove Plantation, the Hunters Plantation. You had these things bringing in.
Okay, so it made
and
Kid Island
producing.
control things. Okay.
Producing.
Okay.
Next one. Once I sell that to the world now, because it's all history. So you clean up your history and you get it all nice and good for the people to come see. Here you talk about cruise ship. You don't need mega cruise ship to move from the islands.
Right.
You have cruise ships that can anchor 15, 20 miles off. They have the tenders, come drop the ramp right on the beach.
But is that the way cruise ships like to engage the Bahamas?
Yes.
One of the things we brag about in the Bahamas now, Ezra, is that you only need no tender when you come to the Bahamas.
Well, guess what? Not all islands have deep water or surrounding it.
Sure.
Well, if you ain't want to do that, we can move them by airplanes.
Okay.
You get Eleuthera is right there.
Right.
Exuma is right there, 15 minutes.
Right.
Eleuthera is 15 minutes.
Right.
Long Island is 15 minutes.
Right.
Rumkey is 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So you're saying sell the package, so sell a dual package. When you come to the Bahamas,
I give you 3 island stop.
I give you a 3-island tour.
3 island tour.
Yeah, that makes some sense. Yeah.
Okay? What you do, you're moving people around.
You got to move people.
When you move people out of the city into the family islands, you know what you're doing? You're causing economic
You're
growth.
moving the economy. Right.
So that's the second.
That's the second thing.
Number 2.
You're doing good. I might have voted for this. Keep going.
Number 2. Here's what you do. You find the people who already have product to carry to the market. So tourism now plays a big role in this thing. So you say to them and you market the Bahamian product.
Okay.
You have 3 major Bahamian hoteliers in Kid Island.
Right.
You have Roles.
Right.
You have Olga Clark, which is Ocean Dreams.
Okay.
And you have Fountain Bay.
Right.
Then around them you have little motels
Okay.
like Gilbert's and Lakeview and a couple more.
Okay.
So you have enough beds that Bahamians own in Kid Island to cause Kid Island to move. So tourism then put package deal together.
That includes these resorts.
All of these resorts involved with it. Sell that.
So you say, okay, so listen. So what I'm hearing you say, right, And I want to use your last minute as Prime Minister. You saying that we have the product, we just don't have the packaging.
We don't have the package. Then the next thing, as a Prime Minister, I take my time and put in my infrastructure the right way.
Okay.
All right? I make sure that when I give an order, my order is carried out and executed to the T.
Okay.
Where you don't have to waste government money to do it twice, and then you don't have to hurt the people that lives in the island at the same time. So you put it all together so that you can be fruitful.
Right.
So you'll make $100,000 look like $1 million.
Right.
You can do that. But there's a way to do it. You have to communicate.
But okay, so here's the thing, right? Now, I recently had some opportunity to engage myself with the government of the Bahamas, right? And for whatever it is worth, whether people think my time was successful or otherwise, what I can tell you, Ezra, is the minutia of government sometimes is nauseating. Like, sometimes government moves in such a way that only a precinct can send at these people. That is how frustrating it gets at times, trying to do very simple maneuvers in government.
You know why? Because we ain't serious about governing.
But who?
I always tell people I'll be a one-time Prime Minister.
Are we talking about the Prime Minister, or are we talking about public service?
We're talking Prime Minister and public service. If I'm the Prime Minister and I'm the Chief Executive Officer for this country, I give you a job to do, and you ain't do it, put your resignation on my table and go. I'm going to find somebody who's going to execute and carry it out and wait for the Bahamian people. Most of these people we elect to Parliament and we give these government jobs to are political postures.
But some of them also have jobs that have these weird protections in the law, Ezra.
You worrying about that?
I am, because you end up in court for that kind of stuff.
We broke it every day. We'll go to court. Because at the end of the day, I will tell the judge, they would put there to do a job. A letter or a file or a form was on their desk, and they didn't execute it in time. These office, you think these office from here, you carry a letter here to the director. You think the director sitting 20 miles away from the PS?
He about 20 feet.
So why these things can't be done?
Yeah, and that could take 2 weeks. It takes 2 weeks for it to go 20
For
feet.
just to get a letter from one person desk to the next desk?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's get serious.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And you know why we do that? Because when a government win for the first time, they're already thinking about the second time.
Right.
So what they do, they play this politics thing that, listen, I can't hate this one because I need them to vote for me because I won't go again.
But you say if they vote you for Prime Minister, you good with one.
I good, because I can fix what I need to fix.
Y'all could go break it after that.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You see, my main thing is that I went there for a reason.
Sure.
And my reason is to bring some relief to heightened Bahamians.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? By executing your plan.
So what do you say to people who say, and because I always tell people, I rarely like to argue how people feel. I like to simply look at the numbers, right? If you look at the numbers, S&P say the Bahamas is doing well. S&P, what is this? Standard & Poor's say the Bahamas is doing well. All of the other international rating companies say the Bahamas is doing well. If you go throughout the Family Islands, like this is my 4th Family Island in the last 3 months. So whether you've gone into Bimini, I tell you, the people, I give the woman my Bahamian $50 in Bimini.
That was going on in Bimini for now more than 20 years.
No, I've been to Bimini in 2014. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, man.
No,
they didn't want no Bahamian money.
When I was in Bimini in 2014, Resorts World was just coming out of the ground.
Right.
And the Bimini economy was okay, but it wasn't what I saw in March when I was there. In March when I went to Bimini, I mean, I know there's tourists because there's white people. The white people everywhere.
Everywhere.
Right? For the casino is 2 o'clock in the day. Bimini Casino pack. So if you look just at the numbers, Bimini's economy is up and running. I went to Eleuthera. Eleuthera economy is up and running. Even on the days when the ship don't come, you could see construction on the ground moving and things coming out of the ground in places like Eleuthera. So the numbers suggest that we going in the right direction.
Yes.
But you're saying that somehow that ain't touching the ground everywhere?
No. Here's what happened. It's touching the ground everywhere, you know. But here's our biggest problem. The Airbnbs.
Okay.
For the hoteliers. See, don't forget. The Airbnbs don't have to hire gardeners. They don't need maids. They don't need bartenders. They don't need cooks. So when you could stay at Fountain Bay for $199 plus taxes.
Which is a wonderful place, by the way.
Yeah. You have the because of all the amenities we offer, you have to have somebody serving. So
Sure.
it comes with a price.
Sure.
Now, you could rent a 2-bedroom with the winter residence in these family islands in their Airbnbs for $250 a night. A 3-bedroom
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they go and they get 2 other couples
Right.
to come in to take up the other beds.
Right.
So when they take up the other beds, they're naturally paying maybe what? $99, $100
About $100 a person.
a person. Now what they do when they come here, the only thing they do is rent a car, then they go to the grocery store, then they go to the liquor store, and you don't see them no more after that
Okay.
until they're ready to go back. So the last night, they might come in a restaurant
Okay.
if they don't have leftovers. So the tourist numbers are for the family island is growing.
So let me ask you this question, Ezra, because when I went to Cuba, when I went to Turks and Caicos, when I went to Jamaica, I stayed in an Airbnb. But what I always say to Bahamians is we've got to move away from this concept that people's lives should stop at either 12 a.m. or 2 a.m. Right?
No.
I don't know why that even on the business.
But
license.
look,
Hold on. But the point I make, Ezra, is even though I was in an Airbnb, the nightlife in Cuba was so rich. I didn't care what they was doing in this Airbnb. I come in outside to see what's happening. When I went to Turks and Caicos, I'm sure you've been there. The Dominican girls are so. If the Dominican girls are there, I go in out there too. There's no way I staying in this Airbnb. That's my point. There was just so much nightlife that sure I didn't stay in a hotel. The hoteliers can argue that, maybe the Airbnb is a choke in the market. But I could tell you, I leave every dollar I had in my pocket in Turks and Caicos because the nightlife was that rich.
Yeah, but look at Turks and Caicos. Turks and Caicos has about 24 or 30 international flights coming in there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the Airbnbs doesn't affect the hotels
yeah,
in Turks and
yeah,
Caicos.
yeah.
I went there, I study
Good
it.
point,
I
good
see
point.
I see what happens.
That is
there.
a good point.
You see? Now we can do that here. It's easy to
But
get Cat Island going.
But the spiritual advisors say you don't want that because Turks and Caicos is a rich man's
But,
playground.
but hold on.
Some of that is sin.
No. Everything we do sometimes is sin.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm talking about sin industry. So we, and this is where Bahamians are losing.
Well, tell me
we gotta
that
decide, Ezra.
we
if
don't have to decide.
If we want to have a rich man's playground, which will work,
Listen.
or if we want to hold on to these,
But let me give you biblical.
Uh-huh.
Let me give you biblical principles. Jesus said, "When I increase your riches, set not your heart on it."
Okay.
So how do you deal with that? If God is going to help me to accomplish, because not everybody is going to sing, "Lord, Lord."
Right.
Some people are going to sing, "Dog don't bark at parked cars."
Right.
But that don't mean they're a sinner.
Right.
You understand what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, because only grace save and all that
so the
anyway.
Bible said, then you have to feed the whole man.
Right.
So how do you feed the whole man? Every man must work out his own soul
His own
salvation.
correct.
But that don't mean I can't give you something to entertain you while you on this earth.
Sure.
Because listen now, the Bible say, "Lord, teach me to number my days that I may apply wisdom." That I young, I want to live.
Right.
I want to do some things. But now the older I get, now I have to start thinking about my spiritual growth.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
So you cannot cut off people action and call this thing sin.
Right.
What is sin?
But that's what they call the industry. So the gambling and the
Well, the gambling is in the church. What more gambling than this you want? These fellas will tell you, I've been around church, I still in the church, I know them. They will say to you, how could God tell you, the lady who's struggling to pay her rent or to feed her children, bring me $20 or bring me $100? But why God ain't show you in the same breath that this woman struggling, walking to church, catching a ride to church, buy her car.
Yeah.
So God only works one way.
We got to go to the break. Anyway, we going to the break. I got Ezra Russell here. Maybe having the show. Chester Johnson and Cable Bahamas. They want me to shout you out, my friend. So, I don't know. Cable Bahamas are always so nice to me.
Yeah.
Don't move, though. It's Freedom March. I got Welcome back. We're here at Fountain Bay. Man, listen, it feels so good to don't be in the studio. People who work in the studio, that's good for y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all should have been in Fountain Bay with me. I bring Bradley. We out here at Fountain Bay, and I think we're gonna pop up to one or two of these other places.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got to go and do it. Do one by the new tourism sponsored or tourism driven sign.
Yeah.
And then Tinghamdom is over there, so we got to
Tinghamdom.
also. We'll probably do something by Tinghamdom.
Yeah.
We could do that.
We can do that.
Yeah, and because we want you all to see, some of the things that are kind of just here and around the place. That you plan your family trips, you plan your vacations, but you never one time considered, thought about, wanted to, desired to come to a place like Cat Island or Eleuthera or Exuma. And there's so much to see right here in the Bahamas, right? Now, I believe traveling to some of these family islands, we gotta fix the airfare. We're gonna have to fix that. At some point, we got to collectively as a nation decide that living on an archipelago is a sovereign wealth. And there's no way, if it ain't no way I should have to spend $1,000 to bring me and so fans, and that only covered the plane ticket. Because I told you when I was coming here earlier in the year, the plane ticket was $486. I'm not spending that to go to Cat Island. But that is where a lot of people are, and I am not in the minimum wage bracket. So what are we saying to people who are in the minimum wage bracket? Is the rest of the Bahamas not for them?
You talk about that sovereign plan that the government